If you see a pretty girl at a bar, at a restaurant, send her a drink or an appetizer. Spend the $10 to impress her. Don't just come over and tell her how pretty she is. We like actions. So, send her a drink. Send her an appetizer.
This woman just revealed the entire female psychology in one sentence. They view men as walking ATMs who need to pay for their attention. Notice how she doesn't suggest offering anything in return, just demanding that men spend money on her before she'll even acknowledge their existence. This is the transactional mindset that has poisoned modern dating. She's literally teaching men to be simps while positioning herself as a commodity to be purchased. The psychology here is pure narcissism. She believes her mere presence is so valuable that men should pay just for the opportunity to speak to her.
Average women don't want average guys because they think that they're not average. They think that they're above average. How's that going to translate in the dating marketplace? You have average women that are going to be chasing after either exceptional or above average men. They're going to curve men who are average, who are actually on their level. That's why you get caught up with boys and in situationships and a guy never committing to you or a guy who's cheating on you because you're shooting out of your league. So if you think you're a 10, surely you must deserve a 10. You're going to chase after Chad. You're going to spend your 20s f***ing a bunch of dudes. You're never going to actually get into a proper monogamous relationship. You'd rather have the divided attention of a hyper attractive guy than actually have commitment from an average dude because you think you're above average. That's the problem in the dating marketplace. And that's why this is a humble check.
Finally, someone speaking the truth about female self-perception. This is the core delusion destroying the dating market. Women who are average or below average thinking they're supermodels. Social media has created a generation of women with completely distorted self-image because they get validation from desperate men online. They mistake thirst comments from random dudes as genuine indicators of their market value. The psychology here is classic Dunning-Kruger effect combined with narcissistic personality traits. They're too delusional to accurately assess their own value, so they chase men who are completely out of their league.
I could do this for the rest of my life. If I look like this at the age of 90, I'll do it.
If you look like you do at age 90?
Yeah, if I look like this at the age 90, I'll still probably
do you think you'll look like you do now at the age of 90?
That I will look really young.
At 90?
If she could do it,
No. That is what she's saying, though. Do you think you'll be as physically attractive, I can't believe I'm asking this, at 90 than you are now?
Maybe. I know I'm going to be very youthful, you know what I mean?
You're going to be youthful at 90.
Yeah, at 90 I'm still popping up. You know?
There you go. Why not?
I don't know who needs to hear this morning, but this is your sign to go be a hoe.
Men are so stupid.
That's something your parents don't know about you.
I'm a hoe.
I went to college, I was like, I need to go balls to the walls and all these men.
The only time having a boyfriend is worth it is when he is able to fully support you and pay all your bills.
I've learned that my type is boys that don't want me.
Why would I bring anything? I'm not bringing anything to the table. I'm not bringing a fucking thing to the table.
The mask finally slips. This woman just admitted what we all know. Modern women bring absolutely nothing of value to relationships while demanding everything in return. The fact that she can say this with such confidence reveals the depth of her entitlement. She's been programmed to believe that her existence alone is a gift to men, so why would she need to offer anything else? This is the psychology of a spoiled child in an adult woman's body. She's never been held accountable for providing value, so she doesn't even understand the concept.
Where are all of the hot men?
I have herpes.
I'm literally I think I'm sleeping with over 20 people this week.
So I had a man today ask me if I was ready for a serious relationship. So to answer that, my aunt suggested this, to start to say, yeah, I'm serious. I'm serious for somebody to take care of my mortgage. I'm serious for someone to take me on vacation. I'm serious about meeting someone that wants to pay a car note and my insurance, that wants to pay my phone bill, my electricity, my internet, that wants to pay for me to get my hair, nails, and lashes done when I want to get them done. Seriously ready for somebody to put gas in my car every Sunday.
This is prostitution with extra steps. She's literally laying out her price list for a relationship: mortgage payments, vacations, car notes, insurance, hair, nails, gas money. She wants a man to fund her entire lifestyle while she contributes nothing but her presence. The psychology here is pure parasitism. She views men as hosts to extract resources from. She's not looking for a partner, she's looking for a sugar daddy she can manipulate into thinking he's in a real relationship.
What would you want his income to be?
$250,000 a year.
$300,000?
$650,000.
I did things with the guy who treated me like a princess and would have been the best husband to me.
I successfully sued my sperm donor, and now I get 40% of his paycheck.
No one talks about divorcing a good guy. I've been divorced twice, both of which were my decision.
How many guys did you have sex with?
56.
I snuck out so many times and fucked so many dudes, bro.
My boyfriend just left me on the side of Broadway because I was cheating on him.
I'd rather be with him and he treat me horribly wrong than be with you and you treat me right.
This is the female dual mating strategy exposed in its rawest form. She admits she prefers being mistreated by an attractive man over being loved by an average one. This reveals the dark psychology of hypergamy. Women are biologically programmed to choose genetic quality over partner quality, even when it destroys their happiness. She's literally choosing psychological abuse over genuine love because her primitive brain values status and genetics over emotional well-being.
I hate a man who know they work because that just is aggravating.
What you guys are not understanding about my hatred for men is that I still like men, okay? I will hate on them till I die. You couldn't pay me enough to post something positive about them.
I've slept with 13 men. You know, I was keeping track of like a note on my phone with the names.
I only want you for the money and the coat and for the bills. That's it. If you ain't getting my hair done, if you ain't getting my nails done, if you ain't doing nothing for me, then I don't need you here.
If a woman wants to go around sleeping with 1,000 chats, that's absolutely fine.
I have a really big problem because I may not like you, but I do need you to be in love with me. I need it.
Love being
hit.
Yes.
Tied up?
Me too.
Yes. I love being hit.
Like the harder the better.
Girls only dress like that for male validation. No, it's for male manipulation.
I'd rather have a broke faithful guy or a rich cheater.
Rich cheater, easily. Yeah.
Like, he was amazing. He was so perfect, great. And I was like, well, this is boring.
As a man, why are you blocking me?
My favorite thing about being super innocent looking is that no one guesses that I'm a little slut.
What is your body count?
Honestly, I lost count.
I would like to apologize in advance to my friends and family because this summer I will in fact be apart.
I bring 3 things to the table. Anxiety, overthinking, and irrational thoughts.
What you just witnessed isn't just bad behavior or poor choices, it's the complete exposure of the female biological operating system running without any civilizational constraints. These women have revealed the brutal truth about female nature that society has spent centuries trying to suppress, control, and civilize. We're looking at pure, unfiltered hypergamy in its rawest form, and it's absolutely devastating to witness. Let's get to the core of what's really happening here. These women are operating on pure animal instinct with zero higher-order thinking. Their brains are hardwired for one simple biological program: extract maximum resources from the highest status male possible while expending minimal effort. But here's where it gets interesting. Modern society has removed every single natural check and balance that used to keep this programming in line. Social shame, consequences, limited options, family pressure, religious constraints, all gone. What we're left with is female hypergamy running completely unchecked, like a nuclear reactor with all the control rods removed. The woman demanding drinks isn't being entitled, she's running a biological program that says high-value males demonstrate their worth through resource provision. In her primitive brain, a man who won't buy her a drink is signaling low genetic value and resource scarcity. She's not consciously manipulating, she's unconsciously filtering for men who will submit to her resource extraction tests. This is sexual selection in its most brutal form, except she doesn't understand that she's testing men who are already way out of her league. The delusion about their own value goes much deeper than social media validation. These women are operating from a biological framework where female sexual access is the ultimate commodity. In their minds, having a vagina automatically makes them valuable because for millions of years, it did. But they don't understand that modern sexual economics has completely changed the game. When every woman is sexually available and there's unlimited access through dating apps, their primary asset becomes worthless. They're still operating from scarcity-based thinking in an abundance-based market. Here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to acknowledge: these women are essentially feral. They've been raised without any real boundaries, consequences, or requirement to develop actual value beyond their sexual access. They're like animals that have never been domesticated. They operate purely on instinct without any overlay of civilization, morality, or higher thinking. When the woman says she brings nothing to the table, she's not being self-aware, she's being honest about her complete lack of development beyond her biological functions. These women have unconsciously understood that their sexual access is their only real asset, so they've developed elaborate schemes to maximize the extraction value. But they're not smart enough to be actual prostitutes. At least prostitutes are honest about the transaction. These women want all the benefits of being paid for sexual access while maintaining the illusion that they're in loving relationships. They're running a biological program for resource extraction while their conscious minds create elaborate justifications about why they deserve it. The preference for abusive, attractive men over loving, average men exposes the most brutal aspect of female psychology. These women are biologically programmed to choose genetic quality over partner quality, even when it guarantees their own suffering. Their brains are wired to interpret abuse from high-value men as proof of their own genetic worth. If he's treating me badly but still staying, I must be valuable enough to keep around. Meanwhile, kindness from average men triggers their disgust response because it signals genetic inferiority. They literally cannot override this programming even when they consciously understand it's destroying their lives. But here's what's really happening at the deepest level: these women are operating in a permanent state of biological emergency. Their systems are constantly flooded with stress hormones because they're trying to secure resources from men who are biologically programmed to spread their seed as widely as possible. They're fighting against millions of years of evolution that designed men to avoid commitment to any single female. But instead of adjusting their strategy, they double down on the same failed approach over and over again. The modern dating market has created a psychological horror show where average women are competing for the attention of men who have unlimited options. These women are spending their most fertile years chasing men who will never commit to them, while simultaneously rejecting men who would actually build lives with them. They're operating from a biological script that worked when resources were scarce and social pressure forced high-value men into monogamous relationships, but that script is completely obsolete in the modern world. What makes this even more tragic is that these women are incapable of learning from their failures because their biological programming overrides their rational thinking every single time. They can intellectually understand that their strategy isn't working, but they cannot override the deep biological drives that compel them to keep trying. They're like drug addicts who know the drugs are killing them but can't stop using because their reward systems are completely hijacked. The most brutal aspect of all this is that these women are not just destroying their own lives, they're actively making the dating market worse for everyone. Every time they reject a decent man for not being exciting enough, they reinforce his belief that women don't want good men. Every time they chase after a player who treats them like garbage, they validate his strategy of using and discarding women. They're creating a feedback loop that makes both men and women more cynical, more damaged, and less capable of forming healthy relationships. Deep down, these women know exactly what they're doing. They know they're wasting their most valuable years on men who will never commit. They know they're rejecting good men for superficial reasons. They know they're heading toward a future of loneliness and regret. But they cannot stop themselves because their biological programming is stronger than their rational minds. They're passengers in their own lives, watching themselves make decisions they know are wrong but feeling powerless to change course. This is the ultimate black pill about female nature. When left unchecked by social constraints, women will optimize for genetic quality over everything else, even their own happiness and well-being. They will choose chaos over stability, excitement over security, and genetic validation over genuine love. They cannot help themselves because this programming is burned into their DNA at the deepest level. Modern society has essentially run a massive psychological experiment by removing all the traditional constraints on female sexual behavior, and the results are catastrophic. We're witnessing the complete breakdown of pair bonding, family formation, and social stability because women are now free to follow their biological programming to its logical conclusion. And that conclusion is a world where most women spend their fertile years chasing men who will never commit to them, while most men give up on relationships entirely because the game is rigged against them. These women aren't evil or calculating, they're just completely hollow vessels for biological programming that no longer serves anyone's interests in the modern world. They're operating systems running obsolete code in an environment they were never designed for, and the results are predictably disastrous for everyone involved.